I've tested every personal assistant that's launched this year, and I've built real systems with all of them. Whether it's OpenClaw, Hermes Agent, Claude Cowork, ChatGPT Work, and yes, even Grok Bot. I've even spent months building my own frameworks as well. But every few weeks, social media tells us to take the very system that we're finishing setting up and throw it away and replace it with a brand new one. So I'll let you in on a secret. They're all pretty much the same. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one fits for you, when it's worth switching, and when it might make sense for you to build your own. And I'll even go over a couple theories as to why I think certain agents seem to be going viral overnight. Let's get into it. So when I say that all of these different agents are basically the same, I don't mean that they're identical. I just mean that all of them have very similar core pieces that make up how they work. So each one of them needs a model to think, and then some form of computer or runtime to do the actual work, whether it's on your local laptop or in the cloud. And then when it comes to file management, tools, plugins, memory, all of them have some semblance to this. It's just a matter of how configurable, how malleable, and how many layers there are. One company calls them bots, and others call them projects, plugins, skills, and even gateways. So you pretty much have the same names, but different jobs. I'm going to do a quick overview over the top 5, and then not only will we rank them, but we'll take a look at all the functionalities that they share. Now the first one I'm going to go over is the new kid on the block called Grok Bot. Now Grok Bot has seemingly gone viral on certain platforms versus others, but the core thing that it promises is a turnkey experience for someone who is non-technical and just wants to spin up an app, set up a bunch of agents, and get them to work. And the core feature that people are focusing on is the fact that all of your agents technically have their own sandboxes in the cloud. So they essentially have their own computers that they can work on even if you shut down your laptop and go on the road. Now this concept sounds new, but it isn't. You've been able to run things like OpenClaw and Hermes Agent on a virtual server for months now. The real difference is that Grok Bot doesn't make you think. It gives you that exact same experience without you having to work for it. Now, if you were to take an X-ray machine and take a look at what Grok Bot looks like underneath the hood, this is what you'd see. First and foremost, you'd see the persistent cloud virtual machine. And this is the sandbox that all of these agents are able to use to be able to run things like research, use plugins in the cloud, and take advantage of not depending on your computer. Next up, you have parallel bot screens. So you essentially have all of these different agents that have access to the exact same cloud, but their own screen, which is a blank slate, through which they can use the browser, plugins, connectors, and anything you enable for them. And this overall setup makes it so that if you shut down one bot and it needs to continue its work with another agent, they all share the same workspace. So one agent will be able to access the files and folders used and worked on by another. And similar to other agents that you might have used in the past, they have access to things like skills, routines, and cron jobs. So a few reasons why Grok Bot seems to be winning the spotlight and gaining a lot of attention. And one of them is more speculation on my part. Number one is that it's very easy to use. Now reason number two is because Grok and Cursor have now merged into one entity, you can now have an entire brand new ecosystem for a single price. So for a price tag of $300, which is very steep, but only $100 more than something like a Claude Code or Codex Max plan, you get access to the whole suite of X Premium, Grok Bot, Cursor at a very high level, and being able to take advantage of all of them working in unison. Now, one speculation I have is that if you look at most creators on YouTube that have made a video on how Grok Bot is amazing, insane, or changed their lives in 2 days, you'll notice that most of them have underperformed. Now, if you head over to X, you see a completely different story. And X is the very platform that integrates well with this whole ecosystem and theoretically could be giving an artificial push for all the posts and testimonials on this product. Now, if you think this is outlandish, go back to the very beginning of 2026 when Google's anti-gravity came out. Not only was it exceptionally popular, but every single video on it on YouTube seemed to go viral overnight. Even smaller creators were getting 3 to 5 times the reach on their videos. Now, could it have been because of that new car smell? Sure. But it's possible that since YouTube and Gemini are owned by the same family, that the algorithm gave an extra bit of love, a bit of incentive for anyone to make a video on that product. But again, that's all hypothetical. Now, if Grok Bot sells the finished experience, then Hermes Agent exposes the machinery underneath it. Hermes is an open source agent that seemingly was born out of all the chaos, the craziness, and the hype that came with OpenClaw. One of the major areas where Hermes Agent differs from Grok Bot is that in Grok Bot, you are stuck with Grok models. You can't change the effort, you can't even change the model as of today. I'm sure that will change in the future. But with Hermes, you can swap any model you want, and you can even have a setup where you have 10 different bots with 10 different underlying models. And like I said, if you want to be able to give all of the agents their own screen that's connected to their own workspace in the cloud, that's been something that you could vibe code just by asking Claude Code or Codex to make it for this Hermes agent. But the real claim to fame for this assistant is the underlying harness. Harness being the ability to manipulate different tools like writing, editing, creating, searching, using skills and plugins, all within one scope that work really well irrespective of whatever model you choose. Especially if you use the newest version, you're going to notice that the way that Hermes agents manage prompts, context, skills, learn skills through conversations, and understand exactly when it might make sense to be able to store a conversation as a memory and or a skill and keep iterating on it over time and self-heal and self-improve. And just like you can with Grok Bot, you can create cron jobs, schedule triggers, routines in the cloud, and spawn parallel agents. But because you have access to all the underlying code, you have access to the entire plumbing. So if you want Grok, Claude Code, or Codex to look at it and inspect and change the way that the Hermes agents behave, you can. And luckily, we're getting to the point where you can use models that are sophisticated enough, where you just give the command in plain English on what you want it to do or not to do, and you can start to manufacture and structure the harness every which way you like. But naturally, with freedom also comes burden and responsibility. So you're still on the hook to manage things like setting up those servers in the cloud, being able to manage your execution, your profiles, your security, your environment secrets, and everything else that would keep the system running and making sure that you maintain it moving forward. So this makes sense if you want to DIY, but not if you want the model provider or the vendor to make all of those decisions for you and all you have to do is just use it. Now what if you're not a fan of Grok or Elon or both, and you don't want to DIY, and you want something that just works out of the box and is kind of a middle ground between something like Claude Code and Claude Chat? Claude Cowork was born by being fully vibe coded using Claude Code, and it went viral for all the right reasons. Before Anthropic made the Claude Code tab on the desktop app bearable enough for someone who's non-technical to actually use it and actually go the distance with it, Claude Cowork was your only option. So it was either a terminal or Claude Cowork. So for non-technical folks who just want to do basic and straightforward knowledge work, Claude Cowork was amazing because you got one connector button, you could click on it, access any service that typically was used in your organization, and you were on your way. And Anthropic was really one of the first companies to come up with the concepts of skills, projects, MCPs, so it made a lot of sense to invest in this ecosystem, since you could use the Claude models, you could have a very straightforward experience where you could embed your prompts, add knowledge files, and go from there. And before Grok Bot made it cool, Cowork was also running on a cloud environment where all of your agents and all of your sessions would run there as well. You just didn't have that experience of having the different screens of computer use to really give you that wow factor. And as this product went viral, the entire team kept shipping almost every single day a brand new feature or addition. So you eventually got the ability to take Claude Cowork on the go with something like Dispatch. So you had that OpenClaw experience without all the baggage, the burden, the updates, and all the security nightmares. And one of the best parts was, and still is, that you can manage your sessions either with local files on your computer or with assets you have in the cloud. Now, if you're a solopreneur or a small business, then you might be nimble enough to be able to jump from Claude Cowork to ChatGPT Work as soon as all the Claude models recently became hard to work with. Claude slopus, if you will. But if you're a company where you had to really dig your heels in and choose Claude as your ecosystem, there are a couple concerns that come to mind. Like I said, at some point the Anthropic team was shipping updates to Cowork daily. And we went from daily to weekly to monthly to now once every while, you might accidentally see a brand new update. So the very pattern that I saw here, I get worried about when I look at something like Grok Bot, because today it is very fashionable. It is very hype-worthy. But we don't know how many updates are going to be shipped to this product before the companies need to pivot again to a brand new direction for whatever it is that is going to be the hottest thing in 2 to 3 months. Now, OpenAI saw Claude Cowork and said, I will raise you a ChatGPT Work. And initially, when this came out, it seemed very random because Codex was doing a great job and there was a good bifurcation between ChatGPT, where you chat, versus Codex, where you work. So identical to Cowork, this product is meant to sit in between chatting on the web versus using Codex. So riding a bicycle, if you will, versus driving the Lamborghini where you can retrofit it and make it do whatever you want with Codex. And whereas OpenAI used to be horrific at making assets like docs, slides, Excel files, nowadays it's on par to sometimes better than Claude Cowork at those same tasks. And as is true with all of these options, you still have the ability to upload files, research, create scheduled tasks, and every single thing that you can do with Cowork and Grok Bot. So assuming that you're not locked into a vendor, then using ChatGPT Work versus Cowork would really be a difference of what model do you like more. If you had to make a bet, I'd probably pick Cowork just because it's been in the market longer, and the longer a product has existed, the more feedback it's gotten, the more bugs it's gone through. So since ChatGPT Work is still relatively new, if you were to make a bet on which product, I'd probably take the former versus the latter. And last, but certainly not least, we have OpenClaw, which needs no introduction and barely needs a description of what it does. And while barely anyone I know uses this today, it was the initial seed that was planted that basically gave rise to the agent revolution. Now, if you look at OpenClaw today, there's actually vast improvements compared to where it was in February. But because it lost favor and it fell out of style, and Hermes Agent took advantage and capitalized on all of its weaknesses at the right time, you'll barely find most people actively using OpenClaw unless they really dug in and made that ecosystem their own. Now, behind the scenes, the most impressive part of OpenClaw wasn't the harness, but it was more so all of the different services, all the different MCPs, the CLIs that were able to be stitched together and hooked up to create this Frankenstein Jarvis system. It was equivalent to the 4-minute mile, where all of these different services had never been combined together in this way, but once we saw it, we couldn't unsee it. So although it might be a good infrastructure and architecture to study, most likely you have much better options out there, especially if you want a turnkey experience with a product that is continually being updated. Now, before we get into ranking all of them and just looking at a final comparison to make sure you understand exactly what might make sense for you, it's important to talk about the alpha option, which is building your own system, which is exactly what myself and my community have done. To build your own system today is easier than ever because we have the smartest models that will continually get smarter, and all you have to do is take the GitHub link of a series of different repos, let's say OpenClaw, Hermes, other ones that are derivative that you can find, throw them into a brand new session, Codex, Claude, Grok, and just tell it, I want to be able to build my own assistant that does X, Y, and Z. And like I said at the start, all of these products have the identical 6 core pieces. You have a file structure, a file system, you have tools, you have memory, you have routines, permissions, and interfaces. And especially when it comes to file management, using tools, and most importantly, creating and managing your own memory layer. These are very special Snowflake features. So if you use something like a Grok Bot, you can never change the way the memory system works. You can't add your own layers. It's not meant to be broken apart and you can swap in and out different components. So you could theoretically make a full wish list of every single feature that you want to be able to create and clone and give it to your model of choice, whether it's a Codex Soul or a Claude Code Fable, and have it build your own harness that you can keep improving day after day. Because I'm telling you now, even though I showed you the top 5, there's going to be a 6th, there's going to be a 7th, there's going to be another new product that changes the world and makes you $10 million in 15 hours. And I'm going to tell you right now that it's going to have a series of elements that are very similar to what you've already seen, but slightly repackaged. Maybe some quality of life features that you can adapt to your own setup. And this is the exact same thing that I've been using ever since March of this year when I finally went away from the OpenClaw and built our own version that we called ClaudeClaw. And the whole point of this system is that every single time we see a brand new feature, if it's open source, we will just look at the repo, see what's good, extract that good, bring it into our ecosystem. And the same thing, if Grok Bot has this amazing orchestration feature that feels so turnkey, I will use it, observe it, and then reverse engineer it. While this doesn't give you the polished experience, you own your infrastructure, and as things come out, which they will never stop coming out, you'll never feel stressed to feel like you're moving houses from one bot to the next and spend more time moving and learning than actually using this to drive business value. And by the way, if the sound of building your own system sounds daunting but extremely appealing, then you might want to check out the first link down below for my early AI adopters community. We initially built our own system inspired by OpenClaw all the way back in April that we called Claude Claw. And ever since then, we've made over 500 updates to that product to get it to a place where it's more than enough to use your existing Codex or Claude subscription with this product to not pay additional fees and use it the same way you would Hermes, OpenClaw, but on steroids. So if that resonates to you, then check out that link and maybe I'll see you inside. All right, back to the video. Before we rank them, we have to ask a specific question. Are we ranking them based on the turnkey experience or the potential of pushing them to become really powerful? If we ask on the turnkey experience, then I would put Grok Bot at the very top, and then followed by Claude Cowork. And then from using it, just because it's not fully there maturity-wise, I would put ChatGPT Work in the A tier, and then you'd have Hermes Agent in the B tier, and then we'd probably throw OpenClaw in the C tier. And then I'm not going to mention any one of these other providers. I just wanted to show that there are many other options. Let's say Manus was something that I used to use back in the day, now not so much. Now, if you were prioritizing independence, your ability to push a system to its limits and have full transparency as to what happens underneath the hood, the ranking would look very different. Now, if you value making your own system and building it your own way on your own terms with the models of choice, then S tier would be building your own system, like I said. A tier would be Hermes Agent. B tier would be Claude Cowork and Grok Bot. Probably give an inch to Grok Bot right now just because all the focus is on it from the team. They want to make it amazing, and pretty much every single day, similar to Cowork, you're seeing brand new updates. ChatGPT Work would be C tier, and unfortunately I'd have to plop OpenClaw in the F tier. To bring everything together, if you take a look at this map, this is the very reason why I can't tell you why there's no definitive winner. If someone is telling you that there's a winner for you, they're lying or they're shilling a brand new product. So if you have always-on execution, files in memory, scheduled routines, local device reach, reusable skills, model routing, browser and web, app connectors, messaging channels, all it takes is hovering over either the closed source or open source options, and you'll see that for the most part, they share the exact same elements. And where they differ is the ability to add things like model routing, messaging channels, operator ownership, etc. So hopefully this video gives you the clarity that you need to make the decision as to what is the best personal assistant setup for you. You ideally want to lower the amount of time you spend learning and keeping up with the brand new thing versus just digging your heels in and investing in getting leverage over whatever setup you end up choosing. And to make your life infinitely easier, not only am I going to give you the exact web page that I walked through in this video so you can use it, share it with whoever, and find the clarity you're looking for, but I'll also give you a throwaway skill, meaning it's a skill that you can use once to help you really understand, based on a series of questions that it will ask you, what is the best setup for you. You'll be able to find both of those in the description in the second link down below. And as always, if you want a place to take refuge from all the hype and focus on the very things that will move your business forward and adapt our own Claude Claw system that we've built over months and made it work with both Claude, Codex, and any model you can imagine, then you want to check out the first link down below for my early AI adopters community. For the rest of you, if you found this helpful, I'd super appreciate a like on the video, share it with someone that might benefit from it, and leave a comment if you so choose. I'll see you all in the next one.